Not on camera. Don't make me disrespect you on camera.
Calm down.
Bro.
Calm down. I don't like when you get like that. Don't make me do something, okay?
Sorry.
It's okay.
Do you think the way you approached that situation
Yeah,
was
definitely. 100%.
I mean,
I spoke to you calmly,
good?
peacefully. I didn't say anything mean. I just said what I had to say. Necessary speech. That's
Necessary speech. All right. I agree with you.
all. I know you do.
So should we start the episode or what?
What do you think?
All right, let's do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to In the Fire.
No, dude.
No? You want to start it? You never started. You started today.
No, I'm not starting today.
Why not? Why are you eating the mic?
Can you calm down?
You're eating the mic.
Calm down.
Was that necessary?
Calm down.
That was it. To raise your voice, that was not necessary.
Calm down.
There you go. You fixed it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of In the Fire. We appreciate you guys, whether you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, or watching us on YouTube. Make sure to check us out on TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff. Episode 53.
53.
Yes, sir. Today,
So, Danny,
as you might have understood from
what are we talking about today?
words.
What?
Yeah, like
What? What are you talking about right
the
now?
importance of grammar. You know, what the Bible says about grammar.
Bro, I
and-
didn't come here for ELA, bro. Sorry. I didn't come here to learn about punctuation, pronunciation, bro.
It's
I'm
important,
sorry.
though.
Bro, I didn't come here for that. This is not a lecture. I don't know
Okay.
why you're saying that.
So what are we talking about?
Today, we're talking about the power of your words.
Do they have power, though? Is it really that big of a deal?
1,000%.
Like I say, you're a dummy. Is that really a big deal?
100% it is.
Can't you just not listen to me? Can't you just ignore me and
I'm
just
so done. Just don't listen.
just ignore what they're saying? Like,
Nah,
you're a
man.
dummy. Is that a big deal?
Yes, it 100% is. Look, the Bible says a lot about your words.
Okay.
Has a lot to say about it. Especially James. In the Bible, there's a book called James, and James says a lot about, everywhere. In Proverbs, mostly Proverbs, where they say many things about the importance of words, right?
Okay.
So in the Bible, when they speak about your words, they use like the words tongue,
yeah.
tongue and mouth, right? When they say that, what they really mean is like your words, how you say your words, and what you say.
It's crazy because I think a lot of people don't think about the importance of your words.
And, a
it's
lot
kind
of
of
people
like,
don't care about the consequences of their words. A lot of people are like, I say what I say, and if you get offended, that's your fault.
and I think people also don't realize like how many situations they could have saved themselves from, or how many relationships they could have restored simply from their word choice.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, thinking about it, it's like words, it's every day. We're always talking to somebody. Like, it's just how we
Yes,
communicate.
It's how we communicate.
And
yeah.
so it's such a big part of, like, obviously life because you're always talking. So wouldn't you want to pay more mind to it?
Yeah,
Considering
and
the fact
I
how
think,
important it is?
and I think as a Christian, you kind of brush past it. It's not like the biggest thing that you focus on in your faith. It's kind of like, oh, you're the transformation. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. But you're never like, okay, I need to intentionally watch what I say, how I say, when I say, all that stuff. And so I think this is a really, really important topic for us to discuss. And Jesus and the Bible talks about it just as importantly. It's like, it says the words have the power of life and death.
And the cool thing that I didn't read after that verse, it says those who love to talk will reap its benefits, which is kind of funny because it's like, it's saying if you love to talk, okay, just be careful. If you love talking, just be careful because you don't know what consequences you're going to reap.
But the fact that it says your words have the power of life and death, like it's not even like some small stuff. It's life and death is like the biggest thing you could possibly compare it to. And it says your words have that power. That's incredible. That's
incredible.
crazy. And the thing is, what's cool is it's not like, okay, your words have power if it's negative. No, your words have power if you speak well to somebody. If you speak with gratitude, validation, compliments, all those stuff have just as much power if you're speaking negative to somebody.
Yeah, the power to do both.
The power to boot.
And to kind of just second that, I have a verse here from James that I was talking about earlier that I want to share. So here's what it says in James chapter 3. We can make a large horse go wherever we want by means of a small bit in its mouth. Talking about like the brittle, what they put in a horse, right? And a small rudder, which is the wheel on a ship, makes a huge ship turn wherever the pilot chooses to go, even though the winds are strong. In the same way, the tongue is a small thing that makes grand speeches.
Wow.
Right? So other than actually like having grand speeches, what it's really saying here, or what James is saying, is he's comparing like the littleness, if that's a word, of our mouths to like the wheel on a ship, the rudder, and a bridle on the horse, right? It's a little thing. Like a mouth is a little part of our body. Yeah, it's little, but it has a great impact. Wow. It has a huge impact. It has a great effect about it. Like MLK Day wasn't too far, right? Martin Luther King did so many crazy things just by what he said.
Wow, that's facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just by the words. So what James is saying here is like, yo, like don't just have this mindset of I say what I want. I don't care what happens to like anybody. If I say it, I say whatever I want to say. Like he's like, no, don't have that mindset.
Wow.
Because your words like have a huge impact on anything.
You know, as I was preparing for this episode, this kind of image came to my head, right? And so I pictured this woman with her daughter walking together in a mall. And this other lady walks past them, and this lady happens to have a fairly large nose. Mm-hmm. And so
the daughter or the woman?
The woman.
Okay.
And the mom kind of points that out, like just out loud to herself. Oh, wow, that woman has a big nose. What the heck? Now, the thing is, anybody would say, okay, you know, not a big deal. She's just pointing out what she saw. Not that big of a deal, right? But in my head, you know, this little girl, the daughter that was with the mom, could have went home and she noticed that her attention of her mom got caught. Her mom's attention got caught by the big nose.
Yeah.
And so now the daughter's like, okay, that's something that people notice. Is my nose big? And they start looking at themselves and they start looking at the picture. And all of a sudden, from that small situation, the daughter grows an insecurity that lasts her years of her life. And it was crazy to me. It was because,
That's extremely small. Like
it is extremely small. I was like, in my head, I was like, that's not a big deal. Like, but the fact that something so small, but your words were able to impact somebody for years to come.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And the thing is, that's just that. But imagine the words that have been put on you as a child. Yeah. Or the words that you've said to other people. Like, even jokingly, oh, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. People said that to me a lot in high school. And it got to a point that I was believing it myself. And I was telling myself I was stupid. I was joining in on the jokes. I'm like, yeah, I'm stupid. Yeah, I'm stupid. Bro, I bombed all my tests. I know I'm not stupid. But the fact that it was set upon me and now I was saying it to myself out loud. I
accepted that identity. Yeah.
I accepted that identity.
Wow.
That's how important words are. Words have the power to destroy families. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
A lot of divorces, a lot of families break from conversations that are had, secrets that are kept, words that are said that you shouldn't have said when you were angry.
Most definitely.
Arguments. All that comes from words that could have simply been
not
avoided.
Just not said in entirety.
Yeah, if you had self-control over your tongue.
Yeah. And even though with that, when you said that example of the woman with the big nose, that woman, you know, probably has been told that her whole life.
Yeah, possibly.
And, you know, and people that can't control their tongue, like, sure, people might have noticed, oh, that's a big nose. Yeah. But you didn't have to say it. Sure, you noticed it, but you have to understand the impact that can have. Right. Like if somebody's telling you 100 million times, you have a big nose. You have a big nose. Like you're gonna get insecure about it. Right. Which leads me into the next thing. To continue what I was reading is a good way to get into it. He continues in James. He says, "But a tiny spark can set a great forest on fire, and among all the parts of the body, the tongue is a flame of fire. It is a whole world of wickedness corrupting your entire body. It can set your whole life on fire, for it is set on fire by hell itself." So, like now, Paul. James said that, it has a great impact. Your words have a huge impact. You can affect things greatly. Now he's saying, like what we said before, you can negatively affect things very much. Wow. You like if you speak behind somebody's back about something, right? If that person finds out, you got to get ready for that person to come up to you, to confront you. You got to get ready for the drama and the likeliness of you ruining that relationship because you did that. right? It's like it's so much more than just like there's so much big impact.
And if you looked even deeper, like the friend or the person you're talking to about the other person behind their back, that can have an impact on them too. Like, oh man, like people talk about other people like this behind their backs. Like, whoa, there's a lot of things that can go on when you simply say these words.
And he's comparing he's comparing careless words and hurtful words to a raging fire. Like you said, like right when you lose your temper, which I know is something that a lot of people can relate to. When you lose your temper, all judgment gets thrown out the window. You have no judgment when you lose your temper. Something my pastor said is, when you lose your temper, you lose. Because you lose. Like you don't have no judgment. You start saying things. So in your anger, whenever you're angry and you say something at somebody, whatever you said in your anger, that's out there now. Like you can't grab your word and put it back in your mouth, and you can't make people unhear what you said. It's not possible, right? So why is it that James says that our careless words and our hurtful words are a raging fire, right? This is what he says here. It's a raging fire because you can neither control or reverse the damage it does. Whatever word that you said, you can't control or reverse the damage it does, because it's out there. So if you're not locking your tongue, if you're not making sure that you're not saying things or having a close eye to what you say, some things you say you might not even know has had a huge impact on somebody's life. Like you said, those words that have been put on us as a kid, like just little things like that, they stick with us. Things that have been told to us, you're not loved, that sticks with us. And even if you apologize after, guess what? It still leaves a scar. Right. And words are so big, especially when because kids just receive anything. Right. They're going to believe it. And same thing goes for adults, too. Like you have to be very careful about what you say, because it's going to leave a scar. It's going to have an impact and you might not even know of. Yeah. And so maybe you might be a person who's like, I don't care what the consequence is. Start caring. Yeah. Especially if you're a Christian, like watch what you say, because there's a literal impact on. You don't even know. You don't even know, but it's going to have impact. So watch your words.
I would argue, like, bro, if you imagined a world where everybody had self-control over the words that they said, and everybody said words of encouragement, gave words of validation, celebration, like words like that, bro, that would push people forward. And that's the thing. The whole idea about this is your words, yes, they have the power for all this negative stuff, but you can push somebody and change their entire life by the way you speak to them or the words you say out loud in general. And you can change your own life by the words you tell yourself. That's how powerful these words are. Do you know how many kids have grown up in fatherless homes that could really use just your words of validation? Your words of, yo, you're doing a great job. Yeah. Yo, I'm really proud of you. Yo, keep at it. You're doing great. Those simple words, do you know? I don't think you understand the power of those words.
And that's funny you're saying that, because I was gonna make an example of, like, let's just say somebody, or like anybody, a kid or like teen, whoever it is, wants to really achieve their goals, like really wants to achieve a dream, but everybody is saying these negative things that you're not gonna do it, you're not gonna figure it out. But then there's one person that puts nothing but confidence in them. Like, I believe you can do it. You're gonna reach that goal. That, like, you had a crazy impact by what you're saying. The words of simple affirmation and validation and encouragement of, I believe you can accomplish that. I believe God can move through you to do that. I believe, I have faith in you. I know you can do it. Like, that changes everything. That changes literally everything.
I would also say, let's say for relationships, friendships, dating, marriage, all that stuff, I would say sometimes people speak too much, and sometimes people don't speak enough. And I think that it's important that we find a balance between the two of those. Because
or even saying yes while you really mean no.
What do you mean by that? Like,
you have the desire to say no, but because you don't want to anger the person, you say yes. Right? So it's even about speaking authentically. Right? So yes, be aware of the bad, like, to make sure you don't say any bad things, and try your best to speak always encouraging people and speaking good of them. Right. But also make sure you're authentic with your words. Right? Because a lot of people, I've struggled with that, where it's like, what was it? I'm trying to remember what I said to myself, or what I really got from being authentic to my words. Basically, when, like, I don't remember it, but like, when you want to say yes, like, say yes. If you want to say no, say no. Like don't try to please somebody. Like don't please someone because you don't want to. You don't want to say no, but you really mean, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just people pleasing, and it'll really harm you in the long run, and harm them because you might not give the full effort that they required or needed in that moment because you said yes when you really wanted to say no. But going back to what I was saying about talking too much and not talking enough, I think it's important that we find a balance in between. I think a lot of people are like, okay, I don't understand. Like I give him words of encouragement. I this, and they speak and they speak and they speak. And sometimes when you speak a lot, you don't think enough, and words come out that you shouldn't have said. And some people that don't speak enough is this other person needs love. This other person needs these words that you're not giving them. So I think it's important to always find a good balance in between. And that's the self-control. A lot of people will say, okay, self-control is doing something less. I would say self-control is learning when to do it and when not to do it. That's what self-control is. If you can have the discernment of looking at a relationship, looking at an argument, looking at a situation and saying, okay, this is the right moment for me to speak, or this is not the right moment for me to speak. And something I want to ask you guys is, when you guys are talking to somebody else, is what you're going to say going to build them up, or is it going to do nothing for the conversation? If you're going to say something that doesn't add to the conversation, why say it in the first place? If you're going to say something that's going to tear them down, what is the point of that?
The things I put down for that, I was going to say the same thing, is before you speak on something that might be sensitive or whatever, ask yourself these questions. Is what I want to say true? Okay. That's the first question. Second, is it necessary? Do I have to say this? Or am I saying it to like build my ego up or something? Right. Is it necessary? And third, is it kind? Because if it's not kind, I mean, why are you saying it? You know what I mean? So I just want to add it on to that.
Yeah, and it's cool because when you have the Holy Spirit, there's been a lot of times where I've written out a text message and the question, literally all I hear in my head is why? For what reason? What will this do for them and what will this do for me? And I realized there was nothing for any of it. And I was like, you know what?
That's good.
Message deleted. And trust me, it saves me a lot of arguments, saves me a lot of relationships that could have been broken. Not to mention that some of you have the power to restore a relationship that you want to restore, but you just don't want to say the words that you have to say. And I think that's really important.
Wow.
I think if God is calling you to restore a relationship, maybe you have a friend or something like that, all of this stuff can be resolved with words.
Wow.
Because we've told you about how powerful these words are. The words have the power to restore relationships, and that's something that I wanted to express out there.
Yeah, and one more example, just to like really end off this like whole emphasis on the power of words, is I wanted to say, it might sound a little like weird. There's a reason why bad things are bad.
What do you mean by that?
And what I mean by that, so no one wants a rotten apple, right? Because I mean,
might find a worm in there.
It's just bad, right? No one wants that. Everybody wants a nice, crisp, bright red, like ripe apple, right? Okay. Nobody wants a rotten apple.
Yeah.
In the same way, nobody wants to be told that they're worthless. True. Nobody wants to be told that no one loves them or actually cares about them. Okay. No one wants to be told that they'll never amount to anything. No one wants to be told any of that, right? If you eat a rotten apple or just anything spoiled in general, you're going to get food poisoning, right? It's going to affect you internally. Same thing goes if somebody says something like that to you, it's going to affect you internally. It's going to leave a scar. So now you're going to go live through life believing that anything you put your mind to achieve, you will not succeed at, because somebody told you that you will never amount to anything. Wow. Right? Or you're going to go and become depressed because you feel like nobody genuinely actually cares about you, because people have shown you throughout your past that nobody actually does, or have told you that nobody does. There's going to be scars left on you because of these things, because of your words, right? So imagine if you put a scar on somebody. And I know that doesn't sound very nice to say, but like imagine that. I don't want to put no scar on nobody.
If I'm honest, if I look back, I feel like I've probably put a lot of scars on a lot of people.
It's
scary.
It's scary. And that's the thing. I know that question was kind of uncomfortable, but it's like, have you put a scar on somebody? Because that's really what could happen. People can, like, if you keep telling somebody like, you're stupid, they're gonna feel like whatever they say is unimportant and doesn't matter and it's stupid.
Yeah.
Like whatever you say is dumb and whatever you can't like. Just so many negative things that come from speaking in a negative way, and that's what I want to say. There's a reason. There's a reason why. Yeah. There's a reason why God calls us to not speak this way.
Wow.
Because there's a effect to it. Yeah. There's a reason for it.
And I would say I would call out for those people that have younger siblings or just in general people that look up to you.
Yeah.
The way you speak is very, very important. They take that stuff into account. If you're cursing up a storm, if you're speaking poorly about other people, if you're speaking poorly to them, that is going to affect them immensely.
Yeah.
A lot.
That's why you can't have this mindset of I'm gonna say whatever I want, I don't care.
And what's scarier about this is that it's a chain reaction. When I speak poorly to you, that results you speaking poorly to somebody else, bang, bang, bang. It goes around to everybody. Generational cycle. That's
insane.
When you talk poorly to your little brother and you put him down or whatever it is, he's going to do the same to his friends. His friends are going to do the same to their little siblings. And it's going to keep going.
And like, that's why I want to emphasize there's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason why God calls it, right? But let's just say right now you're listening and you're like, well, I think my speech is pretty good. I think I don't really say anything. I don't think I put any scars on anybody. I think I speak pretty okay. All right. If you think like that, I'm going to test you real quick.
Oh.
Right? Well, so I have some questions I want to ask you right now.
I'm a little scared.
So let's test it.
Okay.
Do you gossip?
Yes.
You lost, Danny. Go. Get out of here. I'm just kidding.
I try not to, but sometimes
let me continue.
yes.
That was the first question you already lost. That's crazy. Anyways.
You're going to tell me you don't gossip?
Chill out.
No. Hey, no. Hold on.
What do you mean by gossip?
Nah, we're going to be real on In the Fire right now. I'm about to throw you in the fire. Wait for the fire. You gossip?
Define gossip. Define gossip.
Do you talk about other people's information to somebody else? Or about somebody else to somebody else? Question mark?
Only if it's constructive?
No, don't lie to me.
I'm not lying to you.
There's times where you've told me stuff about other people. Is the truth. Don't lie.
I have.
Exactly.
I have. Yeah.
We try not to. And God knows our heart.
Yeah, I got exposed a little bit.
But,
okay.
but
okay.
we do.
We're being honest.
We do. We're being honest here.
Okay, you called me.
We're trying to relate to everybody. It's the truth. Go on. Next question.
Sure.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Calm down. Okay.
Wait, no, Bobby, go.
Do you insult people?
To their faces?
Does that really matter though?
Damn, you didn't have to say that.
You don't have to answer, Danny. It's just questions for the
what?
people.
Okay, come on, let's do it.
All right,
let's do it with them.
All right.
Sometimes yes.
Okay. Do I insult people? I
tend to do it more in a jokingly matter, but it's still.
That's the thing. So I feel like sometimes maybe I might joke about it, maybe in my head, but I probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because that's like God's creation, you know.
You say it out loud too. This guy's trying to act like a saint right now. What's going on?
No, I'm not being. I'm answering.
Wait, no, go. Keep going.
This guy. Like I lost it too. Look.
We both lost.
Okay. Do you belittle people?
Yes. My little brother, yeah.
Maybe I have to my little brother too, but not a lot. So, and that's honest.
No, I do it a lot. I'm like, yo, I'm better than you. I'm better.
Do you brag?
Yes, a lot. Dang, bro,
I don't think I
gotta rewatch this episode myself.
Do I brag?
No, not that much. No,
okay.
No, I do though.
Actually, we should be answering each other because we with each other a lot.
I brag a lot, right?
All right. Do you manipulate?
No, you don't have to answer that. I know what the answer is. Go.
All right.
Keep going.
Do you manipulate?
No. I would say
that's
no.
like kind of real, like really seriously intense, like to manipulate somebody.
Here's the thing.
Manipulating somebody?
No, not like, oh, I'm gonna do it, but I know that I'm good at. How do I talk about this?
Like maybe you know that some words may influence people's answers.
Yes.
And maybe you're aware, but you don't do it. I don't think you manipulate people.
No, I don't. I don't
think you know, like.
Yeah, I don't ever go, oh, I'm gonna manipulate this person, but I know, like, okay, if I say this, they're gonna react this way, or like, I don't know. I'm good at like is that manipulation? That's ooey. Here's the thing.
We're raw and real, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing. I wanted to say this story anyways, and it's funny you bring that up.
Okay.
Because I struggled with a lot of this question actually. Because God's given me the gift of evangelism.
Okay.
So I'm really good at bringing people to church. But, I kind of looked back and I was like, okay, I realized that I changed the way I said, how I said it, and why I said it depending on the person.
Well, that's like evangelizing. Even Paul says I become
right. But in the moment I was like, okay, am I just being different? Maybe I'm changing who I am.
It's just you, not the Holy
Spirit. I'm manipulating them because let's say I knew their history, I would approach them differently because I knew maybe what they believed or what they have done. I'm like, yo, I would approach the situation differently to convince them to come to church.
Well, then that's like kind of...
So for a long time, I was like, dang, am I a manipulator?
Well, that's just speaking life into a place where they need it, no? Like, let's say they've been struggling in this area or maybe in this area. You're kind of speaking into that because you know that Jesus gives life into that area.
Kind of. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes when I was younger, let's say for youth group, I would be like, yo, there's fun games and food pull up. That wasn't the main goal. So isn't that manipulation? And they would show up and learn about Jesus, but I'm pretty sure that's how I convinced you at first.
Yeah, because there's just like games.
I was like, bro, there's games, there's fun. We're just hanging out, and you pulled up, and now look at you on a Christian podcast.
Well, there is games.
I got you.
There is games and fun though.
There is. Yeah, there is. I guess not.
How about we let the viewers decide?
Okay. Am I a manipulator? Leave it in the comments.
Leave it in the comments. Oh my gosh, you're about to get burned.
Oh no. I'm getting head nods.
But yeah, those are all the questions. Those are all the questions I had.
Okay,
so
those are good.
You answer that as you wish. Obviously, we can't hear what you're saying, but answer it honestly.
Dang, those are good.
Yeah, like answer those questions and see. Like, do I have a good, like, what's the word for it? Can I control my tongue?
That's crazy.
Or when you want to gossip, do you? Right? Because the thing is, I remember my pastor telling me this story of when he would go and hang out with all his friends. Like they would go somewhere. I don't know. A bunch of his friends were there, like a group of them. There was when they would go and talk about somebody, like start gossiping about somebody. He had one friend who never said anything.
What do you mean, like?
Like he didn't speak. Like when they were gossiping about somebody or speaking bad about somebody, he would never say anything about it.
That's some self-control right there.
And so like the fact that impacted him so much that now I hear about it like years later, it's like that's how you know that guy had integrity.
That's true.
There was even though he was in that conversation, he didn't partake in it, right? Because he didn't want to, because he had a good control on his tongue.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that's just one example of being able to control your tongue. Being in a conversation where they are gossiping, but you're not partaking in it. My boy, you got it.
You got it. That's true.
You feel me? So like that was like a very cool story that I got reminded of. I was like, wow. That's what taming the tongue looks like. That's what controlling your words looks like.
Yeah.
Having the ability to say something but not saying anything, because you have to be wise.
And I think something about just being effective with your words, and it's funny that we talked about the manipulation thing, right?
Yeah.
But something that I want you guys to understand is you need to understand the perspective of the other person.
Okay.
Because if you put yourself in their shoes for a few moments, I bet you would change the way you would speak to them and what you would say to them. If you understood how they felt in that moment, why they looked at it in that perspective, why they thought that, all of that, you'd be more understanding. You'd be like, okay, I understand. I'm going to say this differently.
We have to break that whole mindset of I don't care about the consequences.
Right.
Because you have to. And yeah, we're not always going to know how a person takes something, but we can try our best to make sure they don't take it in the wrong way.
Right.
By speaking it in a good way.
Okay, so how do we fix our speech?
So how do we fix our speech? I don't think it's a very complicated answer.
Okay.
It's really just being aware of what you say. And the thing is, you can't tackle this by yourself. You have to understand that the Holy Spirit, one fruit of the Spirit, which is what I mean by that is like what happens when like the Holy Spirit's inside you and you're walking with Christ. This is something that happens, right? You start to grow in self-control. One of the fruits of the Holy Spirit is self-control. Yep. So that will allow you to have more control over what you say.
Okay.
Right? You'll be able to control your desires, and maybe I want to gossip, but I'm not going to. Right? It's about just kind of just following God, but also just being aware of what you say.
Right.
And then just having a tight, like taming your tongue.
I'm gonna say something that we say in every episode.
Go for it.
But it's just the fact. It's the transformation of the heart.
Yeah.
Because here in Luke 6:45, a good person produces good things from the treasury of a good heart, and an evil person produces evil things from the treasury of an evil heart. What you say flows from what is in your heart. So what you have in your heart is what comes out.
Yeah.
So a person that speaks harshly, angrily, a person that just has a bunch of road rage, and a person just like that, there's something going on in their heart that they need to fix.
Most definitely.
So I would say the first step to this is the transformation of the heart.
And that just comes naturally.
And it comes naturally, yes. But I feel like a lot of Christians have not yet done what you just said about the intentionality of watching what you say and the intentionality of saying, no, I'm not going to say that, or no, I'm going to train my tongue, because it requires training. It's not one day you're not going to just wake up and you're going to stop saying bad things. No, we're human. It happens.
Yeah.
But it's all about training and self-control.
And even like what you said, because it's like, okay, so out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? And so if we're saying a lot of harsh things, saying a lot of negative things, it's because there's something in our hearts.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, okay, in order for us to start, having a good control of our tongue, we need to start allowing God to heal our hearts, so that our heart can be healed, and so we can have a control of our tongue, right? Because it's these things just come like on this, it comes naturally by seeking God. But maybe you need to allow God to start healing some things in your heart, right? So then your heart can start being healed, and you can start, not having that bitterness or anger, and control it, so you can start controlling what you say, right? Because honestly, the most relatable thing is the anger thing, because anger is where we speak out of, like we speak like not smart,
right?
So like almost like we can see God, but you could also allow God to speak into your heart, right? Yeah. So I think that's something we have to emphasize too.
Wow. I wanted to bring this last thing up, and it's about manifestation.
Ooh, you're gonna talk about this?
Okay. Yes, I am going to talk about this because it's something important that we should talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
And the reason I go to this is because we've talked about the words that we speak to ourselves, right? So if we say, I'm smart, I can do this. I'm smart, I can do this. That is not the same thing as manifestation. Manifestation, first of all, for you Christians, is not biblical. Yeah. It is wrong, and it is against God.
There's a lot
because you are giving glory to yourself, and you are taking away the glory from God. Because you're saying, I did this, I called it into existence. I said, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be rich. And when you did it, you're like, I did it myself because I spoke it into existence. You do not speak anything into existence. You're human. You can't do that.
God made you, bro.
As much as a little kid tells his dad, I want a Lamborghini, I want a Lamborghini, I don't care how much you manifest it, the dad most likely will not get you that Lamborghini. It is not up to you. And here it says, Proverbs 19:21, you can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. You can say whatever you want, manifest whatever you want. You cannot create anything into existence. That is all God. That is first of all. Yeah. So it is not the same thing. So I just wanted to pour that out for you Christians that might be into that. That is new age and new world stuff.
Yeah, and there's been people who have converted to Christianity and understand that what they were doing is not good. It's not good. Yeah.
But there is a difference from the way you speak to yourself. I believe that the words you speak to yourself are very important. And that is not manifestation, but that is, listen, your brain doesn't know when you're joking or not. Like if you say, I'm stupid, your brain's not like, haha, that's a joke. No, your brain's like, oh my gosh, I'm stupid.
Your brain doesn't know when you're joking.
And if you say that enough, you're going to start believing that you're actually stupid. And I tell you from experience because it happened to me. The words you speak affect you. And that has nothing to do with manifestation, but the words that you say out loud do affect you.
Yeah.
If you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, oh, I'm so ugly. Oh, I'm so ugly. Oh, I'm so ugly. You're going to start believing it. You're going to start believing it.
Yeah.
So this is all about loving your neighbor just as you love yourself. That golden rule goes all up in this topic about your words. So if you want to fill the number one rule that Jesus gives us, love your neighbor as yourself, or the number 2 rule, I guess.
Yeah.
Then it
tame your tongue.
Tame your tongue. Tame your tongue.
Begin
aware
to
of what love yourself. Begin to speak words of encouragement to yourself, words of encouragement to the people around you. Give out some compliments. Give out some words of validation. And begin to have some good speech. Some speech that will edify the people around you. That will build them up. That will make them want to love Jesus more and get to know Jesus.
Yeah.
Have people know your heart through the words that you speak.
Represent Jesus by what you say.
Represent Jesus by the way you speak. I want people to look at you and literally just hear you, not even see you, not even anything. Just hear you and know that is a follower of Jesus. by the way we speak.
That's awesome.
So let's get some self-control for our tongues. Let's watch what we say. Let's be intentional about it. And let's ask God, God, help me. Help me tame my tongue. Every time I'm about to say something stupid, make me bite my tongue.
Yeah. And even because there's something I was going to bring up, I forgot. Even the people that might say, well, I said it and I think that person deserved it. The thing is that's also God's son or daughter.
That's God's reminded me of a lot of that.
Like, sure, they might irritate you. They might make you mad. You might feel like, well, I wanted to say that because I don't like how they do this. I don't like how they walk. I don't like how they talk. That's also God's son.
Wow.
That's also God's daughter. So remember that.
Wow.
But yeah, let's tame our tongues because
let's tame them.
Very important.
Let's tame them. But we appreciate you guys tuning in, whether you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, or watching us on YouTube. We appreciate you. Check us out on every single platform. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We love you so much. We love you. These are honest words from my heart.
We appreciate you.
That we really do love you. And we'll see you guys for the next episode. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.